Here is a game that I've never heard of. It's called Extinction, the game of ecology. This game came out in 1970. It's got a ton of dice in it. It looks pretty cool. I think I'm going to go ahead and get it and try it out. Here we have eBay, the electronic auction game. Now we have this game, and this is a fun game. Unfortunately, this one is missing a part or two, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. But pick it up if you see it. Here we have the new Newlywed game. This is an old game back from that old show. This game's not really my cup of tea, so I'm going to leave it here for somebody else. I see this game around quite often. This is yet another copy of the game Mousetrap. This game usually goes for a little bit of money, but there's a broken part in here and it's missing some cheese bits, so on the shelf you go. Here we have a copy of Stratego. I see this game around here and there. This is a really cool game. This game unfortunately does not sell for much, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it here since we already have a copy. Here's a game called Geek Out. This is basically a trivia game for geeks, and I don't consider myself a geek, so I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this here for the geeks. Here is a game called Word Search. Box art looks pretty cool, and the game actually is pretty cool too. The only thing is it doesn't have a lot of replayability, so I'm going to leave this game here too. I Spy, 3D game. Probably be a really cool game for kids. It doesn't go for much though for me, so I'm going to leave this here for the kiddos. Here we have a copy of NFL Rush Zone. You can get this game at Walmart for about $20. As far as the football game goes, it's not very good, but it's got some great components. I think I'll go ahead and get it and see if I can get a little bit for it. Oh no, zombies! Matt Wilkins, another game for you, brother. Unfortunately, it's got a warped board and it's missing pieces, so back to the grave. Here we have a 1977 copy of Scrabble Turntable Deluxe Edition. The board and the tiles are in great shape. Unfortunately, the box is really bad shape, and they want too much for this game to really try to sell, so I'm going to leave this. So apparently, this thrift store is having a big bin sale. This is actually in the back room, and they haven't even sorted it yet, so let's see what we can find in here. And the first game we find is Big John, the electronic flush and burp game. Great inspirational game for the kids. This game actually sells for a little bit of money. I don't know if it's complete or not, if it works, but I'll go ahead and pick it up. Here we have Millborns. This is like a copy from the 60s, and the cards in here are still sealed. I'm definitely going to go ahead and pick this up. I think I can get a little bit of money for this one. Here we have a copy of Word Yahtzee. We already have this game. This is the vintage version. It doesn't really sell for much, so we're going to go ahead and leave this one here. Now, I've heard of expansion games, but I did not realize that CSI Miami had a booster pack. That's kind of funny. Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and leave this here. Here we have a double master set of High Q. This is a solitaire game that's been around for a long time. Again, this one doesn't really sell for much, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this here too. Here we have Imagine If. This is actually a really fun game, and this is a game you can get locally. We already have this one, so we're going to go ahead and leave this here, but it's a fun party game if you guys like party games. Here we have Electronic Catchphrase. This only is $1. I debated getting this, but I don't see us playing it that much, so I'm going to leave this one here.
Hi ho, Kermit Frog here, and look, we have Flippin Frogs game! Yay!
Well, unfortunately, they want a little bit too much for this game, and it actually sells for a little bit, so I'm going to leave it here. Here we have the Green Lantern game of some kind. This is a kid's game. I would love to find a good Green Lantern game. I haven't found one yet, and this one doesn't count, so I'm going to leave this one here too. Here's Codemaster Treasure Hunter. You know, I totally forgot that I was going to look at this game, and I forgot to, so it's at the store. But maybe I'll go and pick it up if I ever hit Mobile, Alabama again. Looks interesting. Da-da-da-dum-bum! We have Star Wars Toss Across. Well, there's only one Toss Across station, and again, it doesn't sell for too much, so I'm going to leave this here too. Now, here's a game I never knew existed. This is a game called Chinese Chess. This game is complete and has one of those playing mats. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. It looks pretty interesting. Well, guys, that does it for our week of thrifting. We ended up getting a couple of interesting games. Chinese chess, never heard of that. Big John, that should be really interesting. And then we got a pretty cool little copy of Little Boards to sell. And then, of course, that extension game, which is a really cool game. Anyway, guys, that does it for us this week. Tune in next week for some more board game hunting.